मानसी आ जाओ यार।
Hi. Hi guys. So today's video is all about money costs. Okay. So basically, what are the expenses if you're staying in Belgium, specifically Brussels? Let's see. So this video is such that I will be covering the big expenses first and then I'll gradually break down to the smaller ones. Okay, even some you'll find irrelevant why she's telling us, but I'll tell you everything. Plus, it's about me and Ashu. So we are a family of two people. We both earn, and if you know us, you follow our life on Instagram. Okay, so you know what kind of lifestyle we are living, what standard of living we maintain. So it's not very lavish, very high. Neither we are like really shrinking our pockets to anything. So to begin with, the first biggest expense that you will have is definitely the rent. There's no running away from it, it's inevitable. So for this, I will actually tell you the exact amount that I paid when I arrived here in Belgium. The first place where we stayed in Brussels was the classic service apartments, which we regret now. For a tiny apartment, a studio apartment of 30 to 35 meters square, we really paid 950 euros per month. Okay, and plus twice of this amount we paid as a security deposit in cash, because when you land here you do not have a bank account, so you naturally pay cash, and they accept it also. I think they only accept cash, so we ended up paying that. And when after 3 months we left the service apartments, when we found the next apartment, not surprised now, they deducted almost 600 euros from that security deposit. And when I actually questioned them to have a check in my presence with them and show me actually what damages we did or what utensils we spoiled, etc., they refused all of that. So that was the biggest lessons learned. So that was the first place where we stayed. So in this 950 euros per month, we were not supposed to pay anything on top of it. So that means the heating, the electricity, the internet was included in this cost, and also the water. So this BBF was in the commune of 1000 Brussels, very close to Etterbeek. It was actually on the boundary of two communes. Anyways, the same year, after 3 months, we shifted to the commune of Etterbeek, and we moved into a slightly bigger, still studio apartment. And there, it was a classic old building without elevator. So we paid 650 euros as a rent, plus 150 for the common charges, which included the common washing machine and electricity, heating, internet, hot and cold water also. So that was a deal we got for 800 all inclusive. 2019, we moved into yet another apartment which was slightly bigger. This is the one that you saw in the video that I made about the Indian store Gaganti. Okay, so in this apartment the rent was 835 euros per month, and we had to pay the electricity, the heating, the gas, and hot and cold water and internet on our own. So all this costed for us two people about 150 euros extra. So 950 was our expenses for all these rent and other charges. This apartment that we lived was also in Etterbeek commune, which is the 1040 Brussels. During the peak pandemic period, we were again wanting to change our apartment because we both were working from home, and it was extremely difficult to be working together from a studio apartment. So it was less of work, more of fights. So we found an apartment and we broke the previous contract, despite convincing the owner a lot that this is the reason we want to shift and we have got a suitable apartment. She did not leave the last 1 month of rent. So usually in contracts in Belgium, if you break a contract, you have to already inform in a classical contract 3 months in advance, plus you have to pay 1 month of indemnity. 1 month of indemnity is 1 month of rent. So this new apartment was again for 835 euros per month, including all the water and all the charges. We just paid electricity, internet and heating, not the heating. Electricity, heating and internet extra. It was a very good deal. Again, the time arrived when our contract was expiring. So we did not want to extend the contract, okay, because we were not happy with the noise isolation of the building. That's the problem with the old buildings in Belgium, okay. If you opt for such an apartment, it's cheap, okay, there's no lift, it's an old classic building, but then the noise isolation, if it's not good, you will really compromise a lot with your sleep and lots of things. We realized that we had been saving up almost 150 euros per month for all these 4 years just by not opting a house in a building that did not have any lift. So we were almost tired of carrying all our groceries, heavy bags up to the second floor, and we didn't want to do it anymore. So we decided we'll move up. We made some criteria. So we decided to move in a building which will definitely have an elevator. So we found this house where I'm recording this video, and we moved here in February 2022. February 2022 we moved right after my birthday. So we are here. We did lots of calculations, and this was definitely going again on a higher end. So we would be paying almost 200 to 250 euros extra per month to be living here. So we were okay with it. So the rent of this apartment is 995 euros plus 150 of course for the common charges and heating. The building is huge. It has lots of maintenance of the common parts. There's lift, so they charge 150, and we'll pay separately for electricity. We are paying separately for internet. It's again 55 euros per month. So this is actually a 2-bedroom apartment, and honestly, the area is equal to, if you put all our older apartments together, this will still be slightly bigger than that. We really needed our separate zones for working out, for reading, for recording some videos, for working separately. You can clearly make out from my Instagram, I have a very nice place to work out, and I'm really glad for that. So this is a 110 meter square apartment, 2-bedroom hall kitchen. It has 2 balconies, one huge balcony in the front. Both the balconies are sunny and airy. Every year they do some calculations. They check the meters. If we consume more or less of the heating, as water, they will adjust, but we will always pay separately for our electricity. It is during the stay in this apartment that the electricity prices have skyrocketed. So earlier we had a plan of 70 euros per month based on our apartment size and 2 people's usage. This time we are expecting a lot more. So the total cost of staying in this apartment is almost about 1250 euros. To cut short, the rent that you will pay, okay, when I say rent, that means rent, no other expenses, okay, that you will have to pay as per you use. So the rent for studio apartment is between 600 to 800 euros per month. If you opt for a 1 BHK, it will be somewhere 800 to 1000 euros per month. If you want a still bigger apartment at 2 BHK, then it will be somewhere from 1000 to 1200 euros per month. My God, I'm so sorry I went on and on about rent, but it's important. It's a big expense that you will actually make here. So I think you need to know our story, our experience. So next, you might be wondering, were these houses where we stayed were furnished or unfurnished? So actually the first 3 houses where we stayed, they were fully furnished. Okay. In fact, the first 4, they were fully furnished. This one where we moved was completely unfurnished. It was an empty house. So if you plan to stay for more than 1 year, let's say 2 years, even then I'll suggest you strongly to go for an unfurnished apartment, because you will end up saving almost 80 euros per month, because if the apartment is furnished, the rent naturally increases and you have more liability. You have to take care of the things of the owner, okay? If there's some scratch or it gets damaged, you will always be in that radar and risk to end up paying at the end of your exit, okay? So buy stuff on your own. Initially it might be trouble, but you might just end up enjoying it like we did for this house. Now you might be wondering how much it will cost you to set up a house from scratch if you take an unfurnished apartment. There's no limit to keeping it, exceptionally good. budget is endless then. But if you want to furnish a decent house, okay, which is not too, boring, but it's still good, you enjoy living there. If you buy fresh things, I think it will be somewhere around 2,500 euros. 2,500 euros you save for that month of setting up things: sofa, your dining, your TV table, your office table, things for your house. That will be sufficient. When you move into a new apartment and when you exit, there's a procedure known as etat de lieu, where along with the owner, you either mutually or in the presence of an expert, you make a list of all things, the status, you take detailed pictures, how the apartment is. And the same thing is repeated at the end. So the comparison is made. So that's how they actually find out what the quality has the apartment been deteriorated, and then they will charge from the security deposit. So when you take an expert like we had to do for this house, because owner was really particular about this, the cost will come about 400 euros, okay, for the... Now this charge will be split between the owner and the tenant equally, and sometimes when you take the offer to take from the same agency the etat de lieu of the entry and the exit, you get a discount. So always opt for that, and don't be like, okay, no, this time we'll only pay for the entry and we'll see what will happen in the end. No, you will have to do it in the end also, and who knows about the prices. So always go for that combo deal. These were the big expenses. Now let's move down to some smaller expenses which are still necessary. So basically, the electricity, the internet, and groceries. For two people staying in an apartment, the cost of electricity now in today's situation would be about 120 to 130 euros per month. Earlier, before all this war broke out and the electricity prices were normal, we used to pay about 60 to 70 euros per month for our electricity. The unlimited plan of internet will cost you about 50 euros per month. Okay, and if you go for a limited plan, then that would be about 35 euros per month. If you're a student, you will get really good deal and it will be much cheaper than this. Groceries. So for us, we buy weekly Indian groceries as well as local groceries, the fresh vegetables and fruits as well. So irrespective of our situation, season, whatever, we have come to a conclusion that for us it costs us about 60 to 70 euros per week. This also includes the necessities and also some guilty pleasures like buying cakes and pastries, etc. So it's almost this constant, whichever supermarket we go, whatever we do, we buy paneer or not or whatever. This is the figure for two people. Traveling within the city and commute. So if you have to take a single trip journey, that will cost you about 2 euros 40 cents. That's the cost of Brupa's one trip. If you want to buy 10 trips and you plan to use it on X scale of time, then you will have to pay 15 euros 60 cents. But if you will really need to travel every day, I propose you will definitely buy Brupa's 1 month, and that will cost you about 56 euros. 56 euros? Yes, 56 euros 50 cents. So 56 euro 50 cents you pay for 1 month, and you get to travel unlimited on bus, metro, tram in Brussels capital region. If you want to know how to travel in Brussels using the public transport, here's the link of the video that I made about it. And then there are some random expenses. So they totally depend on you and your lifestyle and your budget. So you'll end up spending money on, let's say, traveling, going to watch a movie, going to eat out for dinner, or doing some shopping about clothes based on your taste and budget, buying shoes, playing sports and paying some subscriptions, etc, etc. They totally depend on you. But if you do some good research, you can really end up finding out really good deals in this also. Example, buying second-hand clothes, second-hand things, second-hand books. There's a huge market of second-hand stuff in Belgium. I think you should explore it to save lots of money. Constantly you're asking me these questions. How much money is sufficient for two people to live comfortably? Yes, I hear you can have a comfortable lifestyle and then you can do some good savings also. So you can make out from this video also, it will give you good idea. But then I can also tell you, if you get in hand 3000 euros per month, okay, then for a house of two people, it's sufficient to have a good lifestyle. This was the video, guys, on all the costs that you will incur when you come to Belgium, you start living here. This will give you an idea about how expensive it is to stay in Belgium. And also, I did answer that question, how much salary in hand is actually sufficient to live comfortably in Belgium. I hope you really enjoyed this video, found our examples really helpful, and you'll make good decisions. And yes, about the final and the most important thing, if you like this video, if you like my content, please consider liking this video, subscribing to my channel if you haven't done it yet, drop some comments, start an interaction, ask me questions, and let me know what do you like the most about my videos and what you don't, so I can improve. Bye bye, take care, and thanks for watching.